Hello and welcome to this week's Open Mat. You join us down at Shore MMA in Wales, and we are joined by the Welsh gangster himself, Oban, Elliot. Thank you very much for your time, man. I really
Thank you for coming down and doing it, boys. I appreciate it.
It was an eventful drive, wasn't it?
It was good.
6.5 hours.
Nice
some beautiful scenery. We've got a good job, haven't we? We get to speak to some of the top athletes in the UK. So we're buzzing to be here, and then we're going to partake in some Welsh beer tonight.
Yes, 100%. I'm still a bit ropey from the weekend on the beers, but I'm sure you boys will straighten me out. Have you got any Oban whiskey for me then? Because I can't get hold of any.
I'll make sure you get some Oban whiskey.
Some sent down.
Aye.
But no, thanks for coming down, boys. It means a lot you saying that when it comes to athletes and that. It's like it's a fucking honour of mine to be speaking to you as well, you know.
I know, we were just speaking off camera there. It was like 2016. I signed for the UFC. What were you doing at 2016?
I was just finishing sixth form, about to go to uni. Like that's fucking.
So what age would you have been there?
I was 18.
And not
just
even started fighting. Not even thought about.
Oh no, I'd had probably 13 amateur kickboxing fights before then, but I was just going into the MMA side of things. But there was nowhere for me to really go where I was living at the time. So it was kind of just an idea, really. I had a dream, but I didn't know how I was gonna get there, you know. But yeah, 2016, I'd not even had a amateur MMA fight, and you were in the UFC.
What was the draw to MMA? We are good amateur kickboxing background. What was the draw to it?
It was,
especially if it was hard to get to somewhere.
Yeah, it was. To be honest, it was like I didn't know what I was going to do with kickboxing, so I didn't want to be a boxer. I tried the boxing side of it. It was very political. My dads weren't friends. You know, my dad wasn't around, but you know, a lot of boxing gyms. I don't know if it's like in Scotland, but it's like the parents or the coaches, they get the fights, they get this, they get that. Yeah, it's political. So that didn't work for me. Kind of felt kind of stuck in the mud there. Didn't know how I was going to do it. But obviously watching the UFC was kind of my how I got the idea of doing it. I didn't know how I was going to do it. But I told all the teachers in school I was going to do it. So.
When did you start thinking it might be a real possibility? Like, did you just come in and go, do you know what, I just fancy having a couple of fights, or I've had a few kickboxing fights, I'm going to try this MMA, or was it right off the bat? Like,
right off the bat, I didn't want to really...
Didn't want to do anything else?
Yeah, I didn't really want to do it unless I thought I could do it. And I don't know, I kind of, from an early age, I kind of had like a... What's it called? Had like an anxiety of, I never want to be saying what if, and I kind of thought that from an early age, you know, and that kind of stuck with me before I ever got going with any of it. It's like it's strange, really, but I did have those feelings, and just kind of never stopped, really. I never wanted to, you know, while everyone was partying, like I said, I went to uni and that, and obviously I did my fair share of that, but it always I kind of went back to the, you know, original idea I had when I was a kid, and never wanted to lose sight of that. So.
What did you study at uni?
Business management.
Did you like it?
No.
Just done it?
No, I just did it because, like I said, where I was living at the time, there was nowhere for me to train. So there was like, I was thinking, right, how am I going to get from? Because my mother lived just the other side of Hereford there in England. So I was thinking, how am I going to get from there? I don't have any money to just get up and move. I couldn't drive. There was no real option for me. So I thought, when I was in sixth form, I actually left the first year of sixth form to get an apprenticeship, but just to get a bit of money to you know, get the training and things like that.
To make your dream come true.
Yeah, it's crazy when you go over it like this off the cuff. But then I thought, I can't see myself stuck in this job, just working right till 5 o'clock and then racing to get to the gym. I thought, this can't happen. So I got hold of my head of sixth form, and even though I left the first year, so I completely fucked the exams up in the first year because I missed out like the last 4 months or whatever. She said, come in, sit the exams, no matter how bad you do, you can come and do the second year. So I thought, right, the apprenticeship didn't work out. The only way I can get out of where I'm living now is if I do well in sixth form, get a university offer, and that's why I moved to Bristol. I thought that would be a good option. It's kind of central to everywhere. So then I pulled it back massively in the second year. Got into I got all my university offers, picked Bristol, moved to Bristol, and then kind of I used the student loan then to train full time. That's genuinely what I did.
So were you feeling a bit kind of, because we're in quite a rural place?
I didn't. Where I lived at the time as well, it was similar to where we are now. But I just thought this. I had a.
There's more to it.
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't sleep at night just thinking, this is just ends here for me, and I just get a job, and then I just no.
The vast majority of people we've spoke to have the exact same feeling. Like the Monday 9 to 5 is not for us.
No, it
kills you. I think it kills you.
Yeah,
especially people who can't do it. I think it takes something for you until eventually you just give up.
Yeah, for some reason I don't know where.
Destined for more in life.
Yeah, and a lot can be said. Like I've spoken about before. I'm sure you boys know this, but like when I lost my dad and there was that unsettlement and unhappiness in my life, which kind of really, it fucked me up really as a kid. A lot, it really did. And then when I was training, that was the only place where I felt like I could escape that, and I felt really happy, and it gave me this like kind of goosebumps. Really motivated me, and thought, fucking hell, I can do something. It's like a door open that I could see down the door, and I could see like a little crystal ball of what could be, and then I never wanted that what could be to stay as a could be. I wanted it to be like a reality. I wanted it to happen. Yeah, I wanted to. Well, at least I've done everything to try and get there. So let's make it happen. You know what I mean?
Did martial arts? Did you find a father figure in martial arts?
Yeah,
because that's came across a lot. And it's not like people don't have fathers, maybe absent fathers, or something's happened. But the vast majority of people who find martial arts find that father figure and find a guy who they look up to. Was that something that you found yourself?
Yeah, without a doubt. And his name was Julian Burton from a very young age. And he took me and my brother under his wing and let us train for, I think it was a discounted price. I'm always certain of that. And it was just kind of a safe place for us to go. And we trained.
Escapism almost, eh?
Sorry?
It's like a bit of escapism.
Yeah, but it was, because, we were getting into trouble and fighting all the time at school, especially my brother. So I kind of watched my brother have all these street fights, and I think, I see the bollockings he's getting off my mother when we go home. So I'm gonna try and not have as many street fights as him. I'm gonna have actual fights. So it was like, like I said with Julian, and I always show my loyalty to him. Like I bumped into him out of the blue not so long ago when I was visiting my mother, and that father figure kind of it definitely was for sure. Yeah, it was.
And if you look at it now, like that guy's looking at you as a man.
Yeah.
Taking martial arts to the next level and doing it as a job and traveling all over the world and getting victories.
Knocking people out in Madison Square Garden.
I know, but it's just, I don't know. I feel I feel silly saying that in front of you, Like, look at me, look what I'm doing. Because look what you fucking doing. Look what you've already done.
This is your story.
I know.
You're writing your own book right now.
Yeah, I know, but I'm...
My book's nearly finished. Yours is just
starting. No, I know, but I still feel like, even when we started talking and you were like, welcome to the show. We've got this guest today. You kind of took me back when I said that. That's just me being honest with you, man.
We get to meet some cool people, man.
Yeah,
we've been excited for this one. Like, we've watched your progress. We've watched you, and I was watching your fight in my hotel room, and I was honestly over the moon when I seen you get that knockout victory, and then straight after that. After the fights and they announced you got the bonus, I was like,
thank you, mate.
Because I know how hard this sport is. When you're coming off your first contract and you're obviously coming off of 3 wins and negotiating a new contract, they 50 Gs make a huge difference, because a lot of people don't realise, like, 10 and 10's nothing in this world. No. And then by the time you pay coaches, by the time you pay tax, the time you pay all your debt that you've owed, camps and all this kind of stuff, we're not left with a lot of money. So to see somebody a good guy get 50G bonus, man, I was like, fucking yes.
And even to get a little something for yourself, a little holiday or a car, like you said, no car, no like.
No, I appreciate that, boys.
These things are so important.
It's very kind of you, yeah. And to be honest with you, I would have paid money to do that experience. So to get anything back for it is, like my uncle said, fucking hell, out of all of us who come here, he's the only can't go home with money because everybody
was expensive.
We spent so much money to go there. So it's a nice
feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, it is good. Yeah, of course.
And it's obviously not all about the money, but that's very important. Like
it makes the job, it makes the adventure much easier if you've got a bit of money behind you, isn't it?
It takes
and like you said, like my sponsors, they help me so much with all of that. But it's just a very surreal. It's still not sunk in now at all, I don't think. Yeah, it's just.
Which part? Nice. The MSG fight or the whole thing?
All of it.
Second contract, obviously.
Yeah.
People like Chael Sonnen shouting you out.
I treat this like very much one fight at a time. Like that's what I'm trying to do, and it's kind of hard when you have big moments like that. It's just.
Is it hard to not get carried away? Like, are you maybe wanting to get swept up a bit in this?
I don't really want to be swept up in it. I don't. I'm still very grounded with it all. Like I'm a student of the game, like of a somewhat of a historian. I think like I've always studied it from the very early days. So for me to be only 3-0 just now, which is amazing at the time, but I know if I want to do what I want to do in this sport, like I'm just getting started. I'm not going to get ahead of myself. There's still work to do, and we're just getting started. Like I said, off the cuff in the interview with Joe. So
it's pretty cool. You mentioned that you studied a lot of old fights. Is there somebody who dragged you into MMA? Is there a fighter that you're like, this is my guy?
Yeah, it was Chael
Sonnen.
It was, because I loved wrestling.
Some of the best promos in the business.
Yeah. And obviously, when I found out wrestling wasn't real, it's like, it hurts you a bit. But then Chael brought that kind of entertainment factor, the storytelling kind of thing to it, which kind of, I don't know, it was like the perfect niche. It was just that perfect blend, which obviously it massively drew me to the sport. Chael did, yeah, for sure. And obviously, when you see Bisping fighting in them early days, like on the first UFC game, Bisping was on it, I'm pretty sure he was, yeah. And you think like, that's just like such a one-off, once in a blue moon. It's not available for everyone to get in the UFC from the UK. So Bisping was obviously like he's like the godfather at the very early days. And then when I saw, I don't know, I had a feeling if I could put some sort of plan and let things, I don't know, unfold, I could probably, if I ever got there, I would probably be somebody like that, and then before you know it, I'm walking around doing the fucking Hulk Hogan.
Good promos.
Doing the promos. Yeah, I've cut them for that long on my head.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
Are you conscious of these moments, taking your opportunity to say the right thing and do the right thing, because it is equally as, in my opinion, it's equally as important. It's very important to say the right thing.
Yeah, what, like in the cage?
In the cage, at press conferences, like you get such a small window to get it right.
Yeah.
It is important to...
I don't know, I think I've been lucky for the last few interviews because maybe that's just how I was always going to go, but... I knew I was going to say to Joe Rogan on my debut, because I knew I was going to say that this is the greatest moment of my life, because no matter what happened in the fight,
can never be taken away.
It's the greatest moment of my life. I didn't want to look at Joe at the weigh-ins for my debut, because I wanted the first time I meet him to be after a win. Yep. That was like my superstition I had. But then the one with DC in Manchester, I kind of bounced off what he said and said undefeated and undisputed. And then the one in New York I was going to say something about Donald Trump. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I ended up saying that and it worked. And
the moment just catches you.
It just got me, and before you know it, and Joe knows what he's doing. He knows where to lead it and where to leave things open-ended. He knows where to close it. So, and I've kind of studied the art of the promo for that long.
Yep.
I guess it's just like, I don't know. Thank God I can do it like that though.
You got a few ready.
I'm not that good yet, but I'm doing my best.
It's grown up with wrestling. It's grown up with guys like Chael Sonnen. It's just having the confidence in your own abilities as well, and that's why it's natural when it comes to you. You're like, oh, I want to say this, but when the moment hits and your adrenaline's going, then you get the truest
I just
promo
said,
there.
I said
More
the
authentic almost,
the world's most famous arena. Just got to see the world's most dangerous gangster. I don't know where that came from. I just said it.
It's beautiful, man.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. So
we had actually we had only just arrived for your fight. I think we arrived at about the first round, Greg, would that be right?
Was it for my fight?
Yep.
Yeah, because I saw you. Did I see you in the lift? I saw you in the lift of MSG though. Did I not? Were you there? You might have been with the crowd. But
No,
I saw you.
was in the crowd,
Because you came up. Yeah, I never got a photo in that lift. I totally forgot to get one.
I know,
I saw the Welsh flags and everything in the crowd. I was loving it. I was
Nah,
like,
we had just like, so as I was in getting stitched, there was somebody from Wales getting carted into the medical room as well.
It was me, I think.
No, it was somebody. It must have been
the crowd.
It must have been for the crowd.
one of the lads for the crowd.
So he must have had too much of the good stuff. And,
fucking hell.
Boys were having a good time.
And all I was like, that guy better have travel insurance, man, because it's going to be expensive if he goes to the hospital.
He probably doesn't. He's probably
Still in there.
I've got a funny story about travel insurance, but
even that lad's travelling across to New York for Wales
I know.
to watch you.
I know
in
it means
MHC.
it does mean the world that they all did that. It's just like, I mean, as I kind of wake up day to day, but you know when you sit here and talk about it, like I didn't plan anything of the things I was going to say to you, but you know as you're saying this stuff to me, it kind of fucking, I don't know, you're catching me off guard all over again. Because like I had the interviews with Ariel when I was out there. I've not done one since. So when you go back over it, it is seriously overwhelming to think how this is going, how I've ended the year, my first year in the UFC. Like even if all of them are shit after this year, you know, couldn't.
A couple of times you've said that.
What do you mean?
You've said a couple of so even if. More than
'Cause
once you've done that.
Yeah, but I'm not. It doesn't mean I'm doubting myself.
No,
with any of it.
I don't
I'm just
think
like
that. I'm just quite authentic with it.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that the word? Is that the word?
Well,
I'm just grateful for it.
Bad days coming, MMA, for sure.
Even if I would have got if the same thing I did to my opponent happened to me, I was a proud man going into that fight either way because of where I took a little idea. That's all I did. Took a little idea. How many silly ideas the kids come up with, but I actually turned it into real life. So
there's going to be kids listening to this podcast, listening to your interviews, anywhere you do them, and you're going to inspire. You're going to inspire like the next generation of mixed martial artists.
That's crazy.
There's guys in this gym who will look up to you and be like, well, if Oban does it, I can do it.
Maybe
You're opening up doors. You're opening up so many doors for people, so many opportunities, and it all came for this one idea.
Yeah, that's just crazy, isn't it?
And that, like, Oban didn't have a car, and he was having to travel here, and he was having a job.
I didn't pass my test till I was 21. I just couldn't afford it. I learned to drive illegally on my friends' cars at uni when we all lived together, and then obviously scrubbed up on the test things. But yeah.
And you'll be 27 in a few weeks, am I right?
Yeah. Is it? What are we on?
10th of December.
Today, 9 days. 9 days. Yeah, 9 days.
So you're having your birthday. You're ending the year 3-0.
Yeah.
A UFC contract. Life's good.
Life's good, mate.
Man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if it all goes the other way, then be grateful for the now. You can't be like, what do you say? Get ahead of yourself with it. I never want to do that. Never want to do that. I actually watched an Israel Adesanya. Was it a Joe Rogan podcast? He said, make sure you smell the roses. I think he just come off a loss with Blachowicz or Pereira or one of the two. And I'd recently lost, I think. And I remember thinking to myself, why did I take for granted every time I won? I thought, as soon as I win this fight, I was assuming that fight was a given. Why am I chasing the next one? Why am I chasing the next one? And then I've got into a rhythm the last few years to just taking one fight at a time, enjoy it.
You miss quite a lot, don't you?
Yeah, don't just be blinkered on things that just, you let life pass you by. Like, I can't believe I'm 27, next week. So, yeah, just enjoy it all. That's the way I see it. That's the way I see it now, for definitely.
Definitely not looking like wasting your life in chasing something, but have you got a plan within the next coming year for your UFC career? Yeah,
I do. I think, depending on how they match me next time, and someone said about rankings, when do I want to start fighting ranked guys? Like, I just don't. Who even is ranked? Who are they? If I really needed to go and fight someone, I would have called him out 6 months ago. You know what I mean? Just one fight at a time. Each fight I take at this point is going to be a big one. you know, especially 3-0 as a prospect kind of thing. So I'm not in a rush to.
Prospect is definitely right. The right people
Yeah.
are saying your name in the media.
Yeah.
Like you're going on aerial. Chael Sonnen's retweeting your stuff.
Yeah, and he's trying to get me to fight George Masvidal. Do you see that?
We did. We were just talking
cool.
about it
To
there.
be fair, that one would be good because to kind of put the Chael slander to bed, I'll do that one. There's a name that, you know, is worth saying.
Do that
but
one for Chael.
I'll do that for Chael, yeah. Well, I'm nominated, yeah. And it's funny because you didn't text me before you put that out. I literally just went on Twitter, said I had a notification, refreshed it, and it literally came up as I refreshed it. I nominate Oban Elliot to fight, to whip George Masvidal on my behalf, Miami, you say. So let's do that.
And
Why
there's not a long-haired man on the planet.
No, that I need to worry about, brother. So,
So looking forward, we're looking for March in UFC London.
We'll see what they offer me though. I don't want to say that and then they got an idea of me elsewhere. It would be amazing to go on to UFC London.
London's one of these kind of things you want to tick off in your box.
Yeah, I've done Manchester. It would be good to do London.
Don't have far to travel either.
No, and it would be good for everybody who's making these big trips to save some money on the next one, you know? That's the way I see it. So, yeah, it would be good to get on there and we'll just see how it goes.
Are you starting to get people call you out yet?
I've seen the odd one, but...
Nothing that...
Nah.
Nothing that grabs you?
They're not that...
Or nobody you would...
They're not far enough above me to really give it
That's
much
fair,
thought.
mate.
And I don't even believe in that, to be honest with you. Like, it's all bollocks anyway, innit? But what's he calling me out for? It's up to the UFC at the end of the day, so... I'm too concerned about my own journey. Maybe I'm too selfish or, you know, heads up my arse with it, who knows. But I'm concerned about what I'm doing, taking part in these big fights, because every fight is massive to me, and making sure I enjoy it the whole way. After my debut, funnily enough, I hated it. Did you feel the same?
Were you talking about your debut in
I did my
Dana-White
debut
Contender?
in
Or doing it in
that
California?
was a whole different ball game. That
What was that
Contender
like?
series.
Because
mate,
we're
I
used
won't
to
wish it
being
on anyone.
we're used to being performers. We go out and we do our job in front of fans, and you go to Dana-White Contender series, and everything's new to you because you're meeting all these new people. You're then getting dragged out into this sort of parade, almost like a steer. Like, right, come on in, and we'll parade you around.
Yeah, it's like what is it? It's like
paddock.
it's like cockfighting, isn't it?
Right.
It's like
Bring out the next
that
two.
on to the next.
Is he worthy of a contract?
Yeah. Look, he's just fought his heart out, but he didn't look spectacular. Go on, back to where you came from, kind of thing.
And that does happen to a lot of guys.
I know he's only picking out.
But he picked you out and he's seen you hit something.
Yeah.
And he's not wrong.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad he did. And it's funny because DC said, maybe you shouldn't get one, and I give him some shit for that in the one of the post-fight interviews I did. But isn't it mad? Yeah, he picked me out. He gave me a chance. He actually told me, "Be careful what you wish for, kid." And shook my hand, and I was like, I know. But he was a killer though, and he was like, yeah, he was good. But yeah, it's like that wasn't even guaranteed, and then to get signed.
And that's the thing. We were speaking to this off the camera.
Yeah.
He brought you in.
Yeah.
To take a loss, basically.
Oh, without a doubt he did.
And it's wrong to say that because everybody's in here for a fighting chance.
Yeah.
But the way sometimes the UFC kind of stack the cards in your opponent's favour sometimes.
Yeah.
They have an idea,
Well,
don't
I
they?
really knew this when it's obvious for one, but when the week after, I think it might have been Carlos Pratis fought on my same show, and Dana said, a big focus of this season, the main focus of this season was to bring in more Brazilian stars, and I was like, that was me last week, getting fed to the wolves, because the guy was like 16-4, world champion with Octagon, which is no joke, is it? And I took that fight. I didn't care one bit who it was. I thought, here's my chance. He's got 15 minutes. He's got to beat me at the end of the day. I'm not going to let him beat me. So
we were lucky enough to be down at Short MMA this weekend, and the product that we are massively behind is Anaconda's knee braces, and we've seen one of the greatest coaches in the UK wearing this. Jack Shaw's dad, Shaky, is a absolute pioneer in the sport of mixed martial arts. He said some of the best fighters coming out of Wales, and if it's good enough for him, I'm hella sure it's good enough for you. And if this Christmas you're looking to have fine knees, start 2025 with the support of Anaconda, then Ross, where can you hit them up?
You can get them at anacondafightwear.co. They've got a holiday sale, there's up to 50% off. And at the checkout, you put in leather 10 for another 10% off.
The link is in the bio. It makes sense. If you've got a secret Santa, if you need to buy your loved one a gift and he is suffering from knee injury, shoulder injury, any sort of injury, Anaconda's got your back. Check them out. The link is in the bio.
Do you feel going into that fight that the deck was stacked against you?
No,
or did you feel like this is my chance to just...
I was, if anything, I was more confident than ever. I just thought, how could I compare this to someone? It's like you got a poor kid. So say I'm the poor kid. I've got nothing, right? And you're the rich kid who's grown up with, he's had good birthday presents. He had a car when he was 17, and there's a bag of money the size of one of these between us. Who's likely going to walk out with the money if that's the fight over it? It's going to be the poor kid, isn't it?
Who's hungry?
So, who really wants it? And I just felt that I was prepared to go so much deeper than my opponent on the Contender series that he would have had to literally nail me to the canvas. And providing he didn't do that, I kind of thought, well, when I got out of that second round, I thought, mate, I literally tell him I'm ready to die. I put my arms out, I'm ready to die. And I was ready to die. And if they put me in like a, I don't know, winner stays in the UFC fight, my next fight, I'll be exactly the same. I'm like it in every fight. And that fight kind of taught me that when you go that deep, you kind of learn a lot about yourself, you know? And
That winner stays on mentality, I like that.
Yeah,
so
that's
is that how you feel?
You feel
like that now?
Yeah, that's why when they say on about rankings, it's like no one's taking this spot off me. Never mind anyone else's spot. My spot's the most important.
Just keep winning, That's really all.
No one's taking this off me, boys. There's just fucking no chance.
Do you do any like sort of visualization, mind work? Because a lot of people focus on conditioning, wrestling, all the kind of stuff that's on these mats. There's a massive area in between your ears which needs a little bit of TLC. Do you do any of this kind of stuff? I
don't do any of it professionally, but I feel like I do it kind of every day in a weird way. Well, you talk visualization. I went into I guess it's pretty normal. I got to the cage before the fight started, and I like walked back and forth with my walkout music playing in my ear, walked back, started it again, did it again, just to see it. But when it comes to visualization, I guess, when I'm in the house, I'm looking, I'm practicing my walkout, looking at the ceiling, where the ceiling, ceiling wall and the ceiling joins. I'm looking at that.
And it says your name?
Yeah, and I used to play, before I was in the UFC, I used to play like a good one on YouTube, Conor McGregor's one against Chad Mendes, Bruce Buffer introduction. So I'd play it and then I'd pretend I'm like being introduced by it. And since I was like, how old was I? 13, 14?
So you've cultivated it yourself, really?
I've just kind of I guess, I don't know. I just didn't want to do anything else. So I feel like if all you want to do is sell cars and you pretend to sell cars in your bedroom until you're actually doing it, I don't know.
It's a great way of looking at it.
I'm a obsessed guy, I think, and I don't know. I never do it I never did this for anybody else to shake my hand. I was into this sport when nobody knew what it was. Like, who knows what the UFC is in 2010? I did. Nobody else really did. So in my year group, that is, A
couple of symbolic things. I've seen you posting with like the same scales as Ali and Joe Frazier and things like that. Do things like that play on your mind? Like getting this sort of, I don't want to say share these moments because you're obviously a very different time, but it's still, when I found out about the scales, I was like, that's very cool.
Yeah, I just enjoyed that. I just thought, how lucky am I? Did you think the same?
Yep, I was the same. Just to walk out there and experience that, like some of the greatest fighters of all time have done what me and you have done. Yeah. And like you can walk down the street and you're going to pass no one else in your local street that's going to have done it.
No, and like
that's quite
a lot can be said about that. And
you're the baddest man in your local area. Nobody else is like. You think about Wales. You think about how many UFC fighters have came from Wales.
Yeah, there's pretty much
5, 6 fighters. 6 Welsh UFC
Yeah.
fighters.
Yeah,
You're
hardly
It's
any.
such a small group.
Aye.
And then even, like, how many guys are signed to UFC? 750 or something?
Yeah, so it's out of the
not
world
many
as
people,
well.
mate.
Yeah, I think it's like it's like statistically more likely to become a Premier League football player
Than a UFC fighter, that's wild.
Yeah, so look at that.
So some of the things are like big moments for me was getting on the computer game, having the cards.
I'm not
hey,
going to be on it.
As we said, you're just
Yeah.
writing your story there now, man. Your story's got years. You've got loads of time left in this
Time's
tank.
on your side
Yeah,
for sure.
honestly, I want to be one of them fighters who's too old and he's overstayed his welcome and he's getting like Tony Ferguson. And I want to be like him. I promise you.
Getting told to retire.
On the last fight of my 7-fight losing streak, I'll say just give me one more chance because I'm going to get him this time. I will be. That's just. I don't know.
And then from your UFC career end after your 7 losses and your 1 win, is it WWE for you?
Then straight, yeah, but I'll never let it get that bad. I'll keep my.
Listen, I imagine you've got good people around about you who will look after you and make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah. I'll never let it get that bad. I'll think, right, can I do this anymore? Have I lost it? I don't think I ever will, but maybe one day I'll lose it a bit earlier than I planned. Pull the pin, I'll be straight in the squared circle, gone, done, and I'll be cutting a new path there. Get to my mid-40s, juiced up and ready to go. Yeah, I'll be jacked as hell.
Yep.
Yeah, that's just I guess.
I know it's a good path, and the fact that you're cutting these promos, the fact that your stock's so high, the fact that guys like Chael Sonnen, the fact that the WWE are bringing you along to events, man.
Yeah.
It's like, there's
Isn't that fucking mad?
And you've settled in early.
Like,
Settled
mate,
in
I
three
wish we
fights.
kind of went over, and I never say this right, but I wish we kind of went over this before, because I don't know.
No, we never do that, though.
You're getting me all fucking sentimental again. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Right.
From the first thing you said, I feel like I'm falling over my words.
But then,
it's
seeing we
fucking
were sitting in Glasgow, and we were watching some of the best
Yeah.
wrestlers in the world, and the place is cheering, and you have to sit back, and people are doing that for you. Like we're in the crowd as fans cheering, and we're cheering for
never
Drew
even thought
McIntyre.
of that. Yeah.
There's people all over the world who are sitting in their house doing the exact same thing. There's
Yeah.
people in MSG who are losing their mind because
they're looking at us, but yeah. No,
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, because when I was in that, it's funny because when I was in that wrestling show with you, I don't know if you saw me, I was just looking it up thinking, right, this is me now in 4 weeks in the co-op, that keep taking it in, get used to it, this will be me in a few weeks' time. And yeah, I never really thought of it like that. When I'm watching it, I don't know, I forget, like I went and watched the fights after my fight the other day, and I was watching the fights as if I was never there. It's fucking nuts.
It's crazy,
Yeah,
isn't it?
I'm looking at it like as if I was in there. Like I'm watching the highlights back, John Jones and Steve Bay and that. And then you look at the cage, and I was like, I was in that cage. It's just
Knocking people out in that cage.
wow, yeah. It could,
What did that feel like
what when I put him down,
when you put them down?
mate? Fuck, and yeah. It's weird because I look back now and it turns out I was down on one of the cards and, I didn't think I needed it at the time, but when he went down, you can kind of see my face go like, so I thought, surely not. I was thinking like, surely not.
Boom.
Surely not. Come on, Mark. Come on. Oh my God. And then I just thought, you see me stop because I'm literally like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Go back to the idea as a kid, as if I've got this now. I was like, in that moment in time, I was like, and I literally said, who is the fucking man? Talking to the commentator. Because I just thought, I don't know. Fuck, that could have gone so many ways. I could have won, I could have lost it. I could have won like a 29-28. Oh yeah, I got the job done and all that. But for it to end like that, he's far right in the middle of the ring.
All these pictures, all these viral
Big
moments.
KO.
Yeah, all I've ever wanted is to fight in Madison Square Garden, which is crazy because it wasn't legal in New York for so long. But going back to the wrestling, it was that famous arena, the iconic arena. The Royal Rumble was there. You go back to 1984 with Hulk Hogan and the Iron Sheik.
Yep.
It's a historic place. It was like the mecca of wrestling. And then obviously Conor McGregor and Alvarez did the first event there, and that was in 2016 when I just started uni. And I remember looking at that and I thought, that is going to happen one day. I was, in an house party watching it, up to no good, but I was thinking that is going to happen one day, and it fucking did. So even when I got the fight signed and I was in the run up to it, I was just like, I can't believe I've actually made this happen. It is so surreal. I should probably get used to it by now and stop fucking going on about it. I can't. It's, you know, when
why
you get
should
told,
you?
I know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Keep that wonder, keep that passion. What about your younger self? What would you tell him? Like, he's sitting there at 16, 17, not knowing what he's going to do. He's got that idea. What would you tell him?
I just say of course I'd say keep going. I'd say enjoy it more, because you have no idea what's about to come.
I know.
I would say be a bit happier.
It's such a hard question.
Be a bit more present.
Because the worry can weigh you down with that, because when you think back...
I'm so glad I've got to this point in my... And funnily enough, this kind of... I remember where we were at with the point of this conversation we just had. It was about my UFC debut, and then we spoke about the Contender series and that. But the UFC debut, I hated that day. It was. I felt terrible every second I was awake that day. I woke up, my feet were sweaty, the nerves were horrendous, like more so than I've ever experienced. And the change rooms, I hated the change rooms. I hated the walkout. I hated the fight. I hated everything about it. And it was only when I got my hand raised was I was just like, oh my God, thank God that's over. And then I remember thinking to myself as the weeks passed, I thought, this is all you've ever wanted to do, and you've just gone and done it, and you hated every second of it. Like, if you're going to do this, you need to enjoy it. And then that's when this kind of mindset of like just enjoying it came, and smelling the roses and appreciating the position I'm in today. And you know, I'm not on a building site for £50 a day anymore. I'm not praying this pays off. I'm in it. I'm doing it. Like, when you get to the change room, be happy you're there, put your bags down. And it kind of flipped within a matter of weeks, and I got to the change room in Manchester, and I loved it. I was nervous all week, nervous all day, but I loved it in the change room. And I thought, I know I can do this forever now. And then with the New York one, I kind of remembered how I felt when I hit the change rooms in Manchester, so I just kept reminding myself of that anytime I felt nervous, which made me enjoy the week a lot more. And then when I got to the garden and put my bags down, I thought, nah, this is where you want to be. And I visualised the walk, I did the thing, I warmed up. I loved every second of it before I fucking knocked him out, let alone after. So yeah, it's just bizarre, isn't it? Bizarre. What a mad game this is, isn't it?
I know.
Like, you know.
It's we say it all the time, the highs are high and the lows are lows.
Yeah.
But your high right now is incredible, man.
Yeah.
It's a cool journey to be on. But what's your downtime? What do you do with your own time? You know, we train hard, we put a lot of time in this gym, there's a lot of mental work. What do you do in your spare time? Any hobbies, any sort of like
I play the Xbox a lot, to be honest. I don't really, I've kind of gone off socialising, I'll be honest. I don't really I don't know if I've developed like a social anxiety. It's kind of weird, like, but you know, I go and see the boys, and it's not
the same, is it? Going out.
I don't know.
As a UFC fighter,
I just hate them eyes on me all the time. Like there's a couple of gyms I could go to. I'm just exposing myself here, I'm being honest. But like, if I see like loads of people are in one, and I'm like not in the frame of mind to talk relentlessly about my, you know, it's different when we're in a safe setting, and this is what we're here to do, of course. But you know, if I'm like, oh, I just want to train, I don't really want anyone to talk to me, you know, rather than come across rude, I'll just drive to the next one. If I see cars I recognise, I think, oh, can't be asked for that today. I drive to the next one, and then, you know, usually the one in Tredegar I end up going to, because not many people speak to me in there. And that's not me being rude. I don't know.
You try and stay off the phone, stay off social media, don't scroll.
I know, I go on the phone and that. It's different though when you kind of can't escape it. It's like, I don't know, I get like a bit...
it's one of these things that...
Do you get like that?
Yep. I know exactly what you mean.
I could go in the pub and like everybody's looking, and I'm like, oh, I just want to be spoke to like normal for once. Like, can that please happen? So, and I'm not being ungrateful, but you know what I'm saying? Surely you know.
See, when we had to go to the wrestling at Glasgow,
yeah.
I had the exact same thing. Going to these sort of larger events where people are wanting pictures, people are wanting to chat to you, and the vast majority of people it's the same kind of questions you're asking, and it is very anxious. You're going to these places and you're like,
I'm like, oh God.
I know. And even going out for a pub, even going out to the pub and you're local, it's the same. Everybody kind of wants to steal your time, and all you want to do is like, I'm here with my friends, or I'm here with my family, or I'm here with family, friends.
But I compare it to a plumber. It's like, I've said it before, and I've only said this to people when they're fucking like, they're rude about it and they ask very, you know, people take the piss.
Picture.
You know, it's not. I don't mind all of that. It's when they, you know, start getting quite rude about it. I just say like, look, mate, what do you do for a living? Say he's a plumber. He's a plumber. All right. So imagine if I was talking your head off my nut about changing boilers and all of that. You wouldn't be talking to me now, would you?
Yep.
And it's just like, it's a lot to deal with. You know, it genuinely is, and not many people. People think I'm talking shit when I say that, you know, my friends and that. People think I love it as well. Oh, you love this deal. And I'm like, mate, you have no idea the feeling I've got inside me now, this anxiety. Mm-hmm. It's nuts, because then I can walk into an arena and fight in front of an arena full of people and be completely fine with it. I can talk on the microphone, live TV. Do you know what I'm saying? But then I walk into a pub and people come up to me and talk to me, and I go all fucking weird. I don't know what it is.
The way I look at it is, that's the Welsh gangster who does that. Whereas Oban Elliot just wants to go and have a meal.
I just want
go and have a beer.
I just want to have a few beers.
It's almost like you step into this character. You have to step into this character.
And do you know what? Do you know Flex Lewis? I'm sure you do the bodybuilder, Mr. 212, the greatest of all time at his weight, right? He said the alter ego is a real thing. Mm-hmm. And me being me, I love fighting, but you know what? I swear to God, right? When I get into that zone, I feel 10 foot tall. I see John Jones walk past. I say, "Hi, mate." You know, I'm not like, "Oh, it's John Jones" kind of thing. It's like
a work colleague.
Yeah, it's And don't get me wrong, my UFC debut, it was not like that at all. I was like, fucking, oh my God, look at this. You know what I mean? But yeah.
You've worked that out now, and you've worked through that, and now, like you say, you're getting into enjoying being a UFC fighter, which is what you want. You want to enjoy it. You don't want to, like you say, your whole day ruined. I hate when I woke up, my feet are sore, I'm sweaty, I'm not, like you say, I want to do this, I want to be here. Having to change to that mindset. And it's happened quickly for you, because there's probably guys out there 4, 5, 6, 7 fights deep who still feel that way.
And they're still not getting the rub they want. And I don't know, I feel blessed that they've, you know, they put me on 3 pay-per-view cards back to back.
That's big.
That is big, isn't it? That's just like...
It just shows you what the UFC think of you, which is a good thing.
Do you think?
And definitely. You clearly appreciate it. You're not doing it like, well, I should get this anyway.
Well, when I got the debut, and did I just explain 3 years? Oh, that was off camera, wasn't it? So 3 years ago today, it was my most recent loss that I had. And a year ago today, I announced that I was fighting on UFC 298, my debut. So it's mad, 2 years. Yeah, 2 years between that. I was coming off my last loss. I was 4 wins, 2 losses. I was like, this dream is a million miles away, you know? And, you know, I was 23 years old. I was thinking, fuck, I'm probably going to be 30 before I even get my debut in the UFC. And just 2 years after that, you know, I got it. So, yeah, that was... what was I saying then again? I just completely fucking lost train of thought.
That's all right. Just keep going.
What were we saying? What was the first bit?
So it was, you've obviously cracked this, enjoying fighting
that's right.
UFC.
So I got the debut on that card, and I thought that was amazing. Who gets to do that? Their first fight in the UFC on a pay-per-view, and then the next one was Manchester. So I thought, fucking hell, there's another one. Kind of cheating my way with that one because Leon had the belt instead of Aspinall.
Yep.
But then when it comes to the third fight, I thought, wow, there's no way they're going to fucking do it again. And they put me on the MSG one. So
I'd seen you. Was it a message you'd sent? Was it a tweet you'd saying like about getting onto the MSG card? Because we'd spoke about it. Must have been in after in Glasgow.
Yeah, that's right.
Because you'd said you died on it, and I was like, I hadn't even thought about where I was going. And you're like, no, I'm going to go here.
No, I wanted it. I wanted it so much, just to tick that off of my career. Like, you know, like we said, if it could all go upside down, and then that chance is never there. Like I would have fought King Kong in MSG.
So what's the next one?
Yeah, sorry.
There'll be another box that needs ticked. So what's the next one?
Mate, it's like I can't see them at the minute because I'm still enjoying what's just been and gone.
Yep.
But I feel like it's a main card top 3 fight on UFC London. That I feel like, there's a press conference, they give me the seat at the press conference table, and, maybe that's the one where someone comes over to fight me, maybe they've got more fights than me, they're talking, I'm going to take his hype and all that shit, like they always say, and I can just...
It seems like you're quite ready for that, though. You're
without
already
doubt,
more than
I've seen
prepared
it for so
that,
many years, mate. I've been waiting all my life to do it.
And
so
you're just waiting for it to start opening up in front of you.
And I keep calling myself a lucky guy because you wait all your life to do something, then you get the chance to do it, and somehow you get to enjoy it. You don't feel like this immense pressure. I don't feel any pressure with it. It's bizarre. I don't feel any pressure. I'm just completely at peace. I feel less pressure now, and I enjoy it more now than I did when I was on the way up. Because when I was on the way up, I used to think to myself, if I lose this fight, I'm not back years before getting to the UFC. If I've got to win every fight up till now. I've got to do this. I've got to fight him. I've got to fight him. Fuck, what if that goes wrong? But now I'm here, where I've always planned to be. I'm kind of like...
You've lifted the pressure off yourself.
There's no pressure now.
That's what I mean.
I'm here where I belong. I actually feel normal about being here now, and none of it feels forced. It's all very right. And like I spoke to Nick Pete with TNT, and he said, "How does that make any sense? These are the biggest fights in the world. These are the hardest fights." And I'm just like, I don't know, mate. I've got some sort of screw loose, I guess. You know what I mean? I don't know. What do you think? Do you think I'm talking shit there?
No. Like, see, just listening, man. It's absolutely like it's inspirational, and as I said to
you, think?
I think it makes sense.
You did say something about being lucky. I don't think you're lucky. It's called hard work. Nah, it's called hard work. Like, who's the guy that goes onto the mat? Who's the guy that does all the hard work? It's just hard work. There's no such thing as luck in this sport.
I think as well the fact that you're saying you see this ahead of you and then you hit these targets.
Yeah, but what I say I'm lucky because how come I got to see that?
Because you worked hard in this gym.
I just think there was some spiritual intervention, and people call me mad for saying that, but I genuinely do.
I don't know what the thing is, but I do think there is something for some reason. Like, why were you not just happy at work, mate?
I don't know.
No reason.
Yeah, and is that why I'm a lucky guy then?
What was wrong with uni? Uni was probably all right, mate.
Yeah.
Like, it's just hard work. There's easier options in life.
Nothing was wrong with uni, mate.
There's so much easier options in life.
I'm a degree educated man. I could have got a really good job, but
it wasn't for you.
No.
So what was it?
Don't know. Why was that?
You want more for life. That's it. You just want more.
I've been sacked for just about every job I ever had. Like, why did I just turn up for work one day and just go, fuck this, I'm going home? And I've done that every job I've ever had. What for? Why? The jobs were all right. You knew you weren't meant to be there.
Yeah, it's just not in your soul.
It's in you, aye. You're not supposed to be just, I don't know. I think all of us can achieve more, but not many of us do it.
That's what scared me. That's all that ever scared me when I was a kid. I'll be honest with you.
Not fulfilling the potential.
Imagine that. There's like have you seen it in the films? Have you seen the ghosts around your bed of unfulfilled potential?
Aye.
And I don't know if I don't mean to make this fucking dark and morbid because, I feel like I do this accidentally all the time. But I feel like because I kind of experienced death of my father, death at such a young age, I was fully aware how, easy it could happen kind of thing. I feel like that kind of always seeped into my subconscious, and I always like kind of forecast the end of my life from a very young age kind of thing. So I never wanted any sort of regret, or of course you get regrets, but I never wanted my life to be going on in a parallel universe in the way I want it to, and then me be living this fucking life that because I gave up on that one. Like,
it's more
I never wanted that.
You understand the reality that this can end, and that's as opposed to like being morbid. The fact is, stuff goes wrong. Things happen to people. So you're aware that could happen to you because it's obviously happened to someone quite close to you.
And and it is kind of fucked in a way. But without that happening in my life, I don't think I'd be doing this now. I don't think I would have that
drive.
I just don't think I do. Me and my brother said it in New York. We literally said like. I think I've said this before, but I said it on Aerials just after the fight, but like Jesus died for this. We genuinely think now, when we're all there in New York, we're like, well, if my dad died, then at least he died for something. He died for this, and we can all put it to that and be at peace with that.
He died to give you drive, determination, put you on this path.
If he died for something, then he didn't. He didn't die for nothing. At the very least, he died to give us this.
That's good.
That's the way. That's the way I'm at peace with it, and I can close the book on that part of my life and look at where it's got me, and now look where I am. And I've said this to many people, but what's more believable? You got a kid who's never trained in an MMA gym, coming up with an idea he wants to be a UFC fighter. So going from that kid to actually becoming one, what's more believable, that or being 3-0 in the UFC and that guy at 26, 27 years old telling you he's going to be the champion one day? I think the first bit is more far-fetched than what I'm telling you now. So I feel like I've done the hard bit. All I had to do was get here, kick the door down. Now I've just got like a couple of men in front of me. Just men, that's all they are.
It's a great attitude. It's a really good attitude, but you're right.
And when it's just us locked in there, I'm too stubborn to just let some man have his way with me. He's going to have a fucking job on his hands. You know what I mean? So whoever's next and, whatever's in store for me, I'll be like a cockroach in there. I'll be the last one to go out, trust me.
Is it a nice feeling that people are proud of you around about you? Like,
it is, yeah. It's very...
Imagine being in New York with your brother. That's quite a cool experience.
And my mother as well. It was very... I actually got upset on the night. I was just like, fuck me, for the life we had and how hard it was. It felt like for so long at the start, and now we get moments like that. It's like, wow,
They get to stand back and watch you in the middle of the octagon with Bruce Buffer calling out the victory, saying you won via knockout. Yeah,
like how proud must my mother be? It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. And everybody everyone being proud of me. Like I would never, like I said, I've never done this for anyone else. So of all the shit that could be happening, like it's such like a positive. It's like a positive wave, isn't it? With each fight 3 times a year, everybody's got something to look forward to, and people, pay so much money to come and see me, and then they get that big moment, and we're all still buzzing about it now. It's like a football team in a weird way. It's like, and that's why I keep saying we go back to lucky, because look at the people I've got in my life and the family I've got, and look what we've done already, and look what the future could hold. The sky is just.
And you're saying about the positive wave, like there has obviously been quite some very big negatives. So now you're able to you've obviously went through the earlier part of your life with quite big negatives. And now you're able to enjoy these positive moments and go, well, at least that was for this. And you can...
That's why I say it all the time, yeah.
And you're saying you've only done this for yourself, but there's nothing wrong with doing it to make your mum...
No, I know. And I did, of course, that was It was my mother's idea from a very early age for me to train to make my dad proud. That was always my mother's idea, because before my dad died, I used to hate doing any martial arts. I'd be like, dragging my heels as they dragged me into the gym, But when he died, it was like, well, he would have wanted that. Let's keep going for him. And then somewhere along the way, I started to enjoy it. So, yeah. And if it wasn't for my mother taking me to the gym all the time, would I have been consistent enough to be doing this at the level I'm doing it now? You just don't know, do you? So I feel very lucky in that sense. I feel lucky even talking to you boys and fucking hell, you're listening to what I'm saying. Like that means something to you. You're having a conversation with me. You drove all this way to have a conversation with me. I feel pride in that. I'm very grateful for it all. Every single bit of this, I'm grateful for it all.
But it's not for us. It's like I enjoy listening to people and learning stuff from them and hearing like almost shared. I don't want to say shared experiences, but there's like quite common themes we see with people, and usually it starts quite bad,
and then it flips. Is that what it is? Yeah.
Very common.
And that's why I keep saying, like, we do these old mats. It's like I love listening to stories like you. If you watch us back, you'll see times where I'm just actually like, like
I'm in awe.
I'm in awe, and that's just like there will be people out there who'll be listening to us and being like, "Fuck, there's hope. There's hope." And
I
it's
hope
just
so.
there's hope.
No, there is though. There's so much. There's so much. It's just from what I can tell. You know, if my little story means anything to fucking anyone, I am just telling anybody this. If you, and it's funny because I had this conversation with my brother, and I feel like, you know, if you actually really want to do something, it's not like it's not a case of if it happens, when it happens. If you really want to do something, somehow, some way, you will fucking do it. And don't let other people and other things put limitations on you, and don't let jealous people put you down. And if you feel nervous or shy about doing something, just grit your teeth and do it anyway. Because honestly, if I turn around now and said I wanted to be an astronaut, right, I'm telling you now, I'd fucking be one. If I really wanted to, I'd do it.
I feel like as well.
I mean?
I believe you. I believe you.
Do you know what I mean? That's how I feel about life. I do.
People coming for these backgrounds, the road does open up for them sometimes. Like, sometimes you do get a wee bit of good luck.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Of course you need the luck. Yeah.
And but things do fall. I don't want to say fall into place, because obviously you work very hard for it. It's not like you just turned up at the gym a couple of times and next thing you're knocking people out in Madison Square Gardens. That's not what happened.
No, that's not what happened.
Like, it's years upon years of work, but you do. Like you say, it could have just went to decision and 29, 28. Well, you do need that moment where, like, I'm throwing my shot now, boom.
Yeah, somehow the stars just fucking chink and you are rewarded.
I believe that as well.
That's what I think. Boom, you're rewarded and off you go. It's like, wow.
And just like that, good things happen,
how does that happen? Where's that come from, you know?
It's beautiful. I think we've touched on if you've got advice for a young guy, but I think it's just hard work.
Yeah.
Hard work for these young guys that are up and coming and listening to this podcast. Like, there's nothing better than it.
Yeah, hard work. Don't be a dick either, you know? Don't be like a... don't like... You know, you got to be respectful. You got to be grateful. Never bite the hand that feeds you. You always pay respects to the people who have come before you. Like, similarly, like I hope I've done with you. You know what I mean? And I'm sure you do for the ones that came before you. That's just like it's like a rule. You don't be entitled and think it's all just because it just isn't. And you know, the cream rises to the top. And if you truly believe you're the cream, you will. I just think that is just a lot can be said on that. I think I do feel like that. Yeah, I don't know. I never thought I'd.
I think you reflect that as well.
Yeah,
it's not just.
And like I said, I don't know. I never felt like that for anyone else. It was always just for me. And yeah, and to make my family proud, my immediate circle. It was never for clout, going in the pub and everybody fist bumping me and having pictures and that.
Pictures on
never,
Instagram.
Ever for that. It was always for just myself and the pure aspect of it, you know.
Listen, this has been an amazing podcast. Like, I am actually buzzing having this opportunity.
I hope so. Me too. You fired me up now.
Is there any sponsors, MD, you'd like to give a shout out to just to thank them?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, I've got so many. I'm so lucky. Should I get my phone out?
I
feel like I should.
Don't miss out, MD.
I'm not gonna.
I can tell you the type of man who would feel annoyed if you missed someone.
I don't want to miss them. No. Wait there. Where are they? Right. So I do have Weekend Offender, Tatami, Bones Entertainment, DRM Bristol, The Buzz Bristol, JP the Tattooist, Ride on Time, Feed Me Fit, Lois Limited, Guy and Go Barbers, New Motive UK, ISS Labour, Papeva Consulting, Macon Civil Engineering, Rain Scaffolding and Groundworks. I think that is it. And I'm very lucky to have all the amazing companies support me on my journey as I'm, like you said, when you start off.
These guys make a huge difference.
Yeah, they make a
life.
massive difference. You know, you've actually got your head above water and you can focus on the things that are important. So massive shout out to them, my team, my friends, my family, and everybody who supported me this year and the years prior. They always believed in me because look at where we are now. It's fucking crazy.
It's beautiful.
So yeah, I'm beyond proud. I'm just gonna enjoy it for now. That's how I feel. Yeah.
Thank you so much. As always, guys, keep it high.